Now, the deep state, the mainstream media, the central bank, they're doing whatever they possibly can to keep this economy from opening up and from doing well. Remember, their main mission is to keep the system down. Make sure it crashes. Scare the people with the second wave. And that is exactly what is happening right now. The mainstream media, certain talking heads in the Fed, they're pushing the idea that the second wave is going to close down the economy and we're going to be right back where we started. We had Robert Kaplan, he's the Dallas Federal Reserve president, and he started lecturing on masks and a second wave to the coronavirus. And he was pushing this out there, and as he was doing this, what happened to the market? It came down. Remember, their entire mission is to cover up everything that they have been doing in the past. And I'm not just talking about the deep state. I'm not just talking about the endless wars. I'm not just talking about the corruption in government. I'm also talking about the central bank. I'm also talking about the economy. I'm also talking about all these funds going into Wall Street, into the banking system. It's all interconnected. It's not just, oh, we have these people that did something and it's not connected to the economy, Wall Street, the banking system. It's all interconnected. They are working as one to stop Trump any way they possibly can. Why do you think we're seeing the pandemic? Why do you think we're seeing the protests, the riots? Why do you think George Soros made that lecture at Davos, Switzerland, where the market was overheating and it looks like the economy is getting ready to crash? Because they knew exactly what they were going to do. But Trump didn't follow their plan. They wanted him to be a dictator. They wanted him to tell the entire country that you are on lockdown and you will obey my order. Actually, he did the opposite. He made it a recommendation. He left it up to the governors, to the mayors. And now people are starting to see, well, wait a minute, why are other states opening up? And why are we still shut down? The numbers are going down. You're telling us there's a second wave. Nobody's seeing it because the numbers are all going in the opposite direction. And we're starting to see a lot of businesses, a lot of people go back to work. Actually, the May retail sales report looks like we're going to see an improvement. Why? Because when you shut everything down, you have nobody working, you have hardly any business. When you open it up, even if you have 25% capacity, 50% capacity, you're going to see an improvement. And you need to remember, the mainstream media, they're looking at numbers from the past. We're looking at numbers in the future. So, yeah, they can go back to March. They can go back to April and say, wow, retail, it is awful. Everything's terrible. The retail numbers, nobody's doing any type of business. But now, if you look in May, a lot of businesses have been open. A lot of people have gone back to work. If you look in June, even more businesses are open. Actually, there are some businesses that are opening, like the malls, where you're not even wearing a mask, which is going to drive business. Now, Trump, the Patriots, they know this. They understand that the economy is recovering right now. We have Larry Kudlow, and he says the U.S. economy, the world's largest, is now in a recovery stage. We're coming out of the pandemic, and these thousands upon thousands of businesses that were closed down, they are now opening up. And they're looking at different ways of stimulating people going back to work. Now, think about what the central bank, what the deep state has done over the many years. How did they keep people out of work? Well, they said, hey, you can go on welfare. Hey, you can file for unemployment. You can receive funds since you are not working. And as you're receiving these funds, a lot of people say, well, why would I want to go back to work? I'm receiving these funds and I don't have to go back to work. So Trump, the Patriots, just like everything else, they decided, let's reverse this. Instead of telling people, listen, if you stay home, you can go on the welfare system, you can get food stamps, you can get unemployment. What happens if we said, we will give you money if you return back to work. This is what they're looking to do. They will supplement people for 2.5 months if you go back to work. And it looks like they're looking at, say, about $1,200, which will be paid to a worker if they return back to work. I wonder how many people are going to say, you know something? I need to go back to work. I need to open the business. I need to do this. I think quite a number of them. This is what Trump and the Patriots have been doing. Everything the deep state, the central bank has done over the many, many years, they're reversing everything. So in the past, if people were receiving welfare food stamps and they were receiving money for not working, they're now going to receive funds if they go back to work. So you're going to have to go back to work, show that you're employed, and the government will help you out, just for a very short period of time. This is stimulus on Main Street. This is not stimulus on Wall Street. Why is Trump and the Patriots doing this? Once again, they're using all the weapons against the central bank and the deep state. They just turned the tables. And the White House, they are favoring a $2 trillion Phase 4 stimulus. This is not helicopter money. This is not going to go on forever. This is temporary. Why is Trump doing this? He's building the foundation to get everyone back to work, to get businesses open. And within this Phase 4 stimulus, what is there? There's payroll tax relief. This is exactly what Trump wanted. Tax cuts. And a decoupling from China by bringing manufacturing back to the U.S. This is everything the deep state, the central bank, does not want to happen. Remember, their entire plan was to move manufacturing out of the United States, to keep people from working. Because if you move companies and manufacturers out of the U.S., there's no jobs. So the people, they survive by receiving welfare, food stamps, unemployment, you name it. They're on entitlement programs. And the government can dictate what they want them to do. Trump is doing the opposite now. He's going to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. He's going to break up the supply chains. He's deregulating. He's focusing on a payroll tax relief. All of these things help the everyday person. Payroll tax relief, more money in everyone's pocket. Deregulation helps small businesses. If small businesses are deregulated, where they don't have all these regulations, where they have to pay all these things out and they get a payroll tax cut and maybe even tax incentives, businesses are able to expand. If they're able to expand, they can hire more people. This is what Trump is doing for Main Street. This is why he's reworking the Main Street credit system with the smaller banks, taking it away from the big, too big to fail banks. All of this is being done on purpose to reboot the entire system. Now remember, he still has to play within the central bank system. So yes, you're going to see stimulus. Yes, you're going to see the debt skyrocket. Yes, you're going to see all these things. Because he's going to be using the Federal Reserve, this gigantic credit card, to rebuild America. And if he can get, or when he gets, that infrastructure bill, you're going to see a completely different America. Think about it. The airports, the roads, buildings, bridges. This is going to spur industry like we've never seen before. It's going to put tons of people back to work. Actually, you might even see new technology come out of this to build bridges better. Think about the high-speed rails, and I'm not talking about the one in California. I'm talking the ones that are going to be completed. Think about those and all the new technology, all the manufacturing plants, rare earth material that they're going to use. This is going to take the country to another level. Add on top of that, the space program. You see what Trump is doing here. He's doing everything that the deep state, the central bank has done. They ripped all of this away. He's bringing it back. And the U.S. is going to return to a manufacturing base. He's going after Main Street to build Main Street back up, to narrow the gap between the wealthy and Main Street. And once Main Street becomes powerful again, that means America is powerful again. Because once Main Street, once these people, everyone has jobs, it lifts the bottom half way up. And people, as they're working, they feel good. They have money coming in. They feel like they're productive. They feel that they have a future. And this is what Trump is doing, because the central bank, the deep state, the mainstream media, they tore it all down. They wanted everyone not to work. That was their dream. It was helicopter money and everyone stay home, we'll just control you. This is being reversed right now. And once again, we're watching it all play out. Trump is chipping away at the central bank globalist system, removing each part of it and doing the opposite of what they wanted. And this is going to continue. Remember, after all this is said and done, he's going after the currency, which is the central bank, the Fed. That's the biggest hurdle. But he needs to build a strong economy first and use their credit card against them. And when I talk about the credit card, I'm talking about money printing. And that's what we see happening right now.